We are trying to continue to engage with this conflict in order to get to the place of peace. That's what this shirt is about. Black and white, red blood.
I've been told that I need to remind everybody to like or subscribe or hit the little bell thingy. Don't know what the little bell thingy is, but hit the little bell thingy. That's apparently the YouTube thing to do.
And you're listening to The Coffee Conversation. I was asked a question the other day, and the question was loaded as it was asked like this. After speaking to some racists who support the idea of Cape Exit, we wanted to understand your view on this. Now that's so loaded that if I have anything that isn't derogatory against Cape Exit to say, then I'm going to be branded as a racist. But I'm going to answer that question. Before I do, I want to explain to everybody the basic idea of how people cooperate and societies cooperate in relationship. So you've got cooperation, which is the place of peace. It's always better to pursue peace. Sometimes in order to get back to the place of peace because of disagreement, we might need a confrontation or a conflict or an argument or a discussion. And the idea of that is to get back to this place, which is the only place and state of peace within the relationship. So you get cooperation and peace, otherwise conflict in order to find peace. Because if you can't find peace in that, you are then left with the only option is to either be in control or be controlled. Otherwise, you need to separate. So now I'm going to give you my answer as to where we are in this conflict between South Africans. If the conflict and the confrontation can lead to peace and cooperation, that is the best possible outcome for South Africa. There is conflict. Some whites are against blacks or non-whites. Some blacks or non-whites are against whites. And unfortunately, the government, predominantly non-white, are not neutral in this, and many of the authorities and leaders and much of the speak and action is against white people and anyone else who doesn't toe their line. We saw that in the Clicks debacle. Didn't matter what color you were, if you were against the EFF, you were the enemy. That conflict is not about cooperation, it's about control. So, if cooperation cannot be achieved, unless those being attacked, black and white, are able to separate, they will be forced to be controlled and enslaved by an oppressor. There's much of that happening at the moment, but we are trying to continue to engage with this conflict in order to get to the place of peace. That's what this shirt is about. Black and white, red blood. Black and white, red blood. If you want to support us, buy a t-shirt. Otherwise, you can do donations. We can get your details after the video. So, Cape Exit is an attempt to separate by those who feel they are losing the conflict and prefer not to leave this part of Africa, but perform and form a legitimate independent state apart from the current conflict in South Africa. So, I'd like to say that I would support the idea of secession to form a separate state for those that want to have a separation, yet I am determined to continue toward the preferred outcome of a peaceful, cooperative and inclusive South Africa. That is the best possible outcome. As a side note, many of the accusers against anyone who will not toe their political line, they keep taunting those that they accuse of them being the problem and telling them to leave South Africa, to get out. My question to you then is this: why would you then oppose Cape Exit? Those you are against will be separated and gone. You will be free of them, which is what you wish anyway. You'll be free to do the things the way you prefer without them. So what's the problem? Let me put it this way: you can't have it both ways. You can't say, we don't want you, you don't want you. You need to get out because you're the problem. And then when those people say, well, we want to go out, we want our own separate little area where you've never been as a people anyway, we want to go there, and then tell them that they're still the problem. You can't morally and coherently actually win both those arguments. You need to choose one and let the other people be. Either choose and say, we do want you here, how do we cooperate? Or say, we don't want you here, you're free to go, to start your own little republican state in the Cape. But to make both of them your victory chant, and both of those being an accusation against those that you accuse, that actually exposes your prejudice, your incoherence, and your idiocy. So make up your mind. My name is Dean Haystack, and I'm just a guy who gives a damn.
That's kind of my thought process on all of that. So, hit the bell. I don't know what that means. Subscribe, like, share, and all that stuff which YouTube apparently requires in order for me to become a hit.